Nigeria. Phase 2 begins. When we were praying and thanking God for our nation, I saw 3 big books being brought down from heaven and placed on top of what looked like the top of a lectern, and at the same time, an altar. These 3 books, I understood, were 3 volumes written about our nation, Nigeria. Each book represented a phase. I heard, Phase 1 over, Phase 2 begins. I saw the first 2 leaves of the book, representing the second phase opening, even as the last page of the first book was being closed. These first 2 leaves were coated red, like they had been dipped in blood. I just knew that they represented 2 years, or possibly 2 seasons, that were going to be bloody. Then I saw an angel. I knew he was the angel over Nigeria, though he looked different from what I had been seeing before, which made me wonder if it was still the same prince or a new one. The angel I used to see before was usually dressed like an ancient warrior, but this one was dressed like a modern-day ranking Airforce officer. He was dressed in a green cap. Now I don't know what that kind of cap is usually called. A green pair of trousers, and a white suit. There were initially 2 green strips on each of his shoulders, indicating his rank. However, I immediately saw that a sort of coronation ordination, or commissioning, was being done for him by another angel, who was dressed in the old-fashioned way I had pointed out earlier. A 3rd strip was added to each shoulder, but this strip was red, like blood, the exact color of the red pages of the book. I began wondering if this was the angel I had always seen over Nigeria, being promoted for the sake of a new season and a new assignment. But when later on, Pastor, in prayer, had asked for new angels over the nation and welcomed them, I settled to believe that this was an entirely new angel. Also, while typing this, it was coming to my notice that the angel that carried out the coronation seemed very much like the prince I'd previously been accustomed to. After adding the additional rank, the one who was coronating said, "For blood." Then I began to see blood dripping from the additional red strips down the white suit, making it look bloody too. I understood that this new angel, though handsome, was an avenger of blood, and his assignment was to avenge the nation of her enemies. I also heard him being called an air marshal. I went online to check what that was, and I saw that an air marshal is a 3-star officer of the Air Force. Remember the 3 strips? This, of course, made me understand that this angel's warfare was going to be an aerial warfare, and that what we and every other member of the faithful church in this nation must do is to fight alongside him in prayer and praise, that is, offering holy incense, fundamentally the criterion for effective aerial warfare. I saw the air marshal armed with what looked like a modernized version of a local hunter's gun. Also, he had a shiny, silvery, long, slender French Napoleonic sword. I saw him moving across what looked like a huge 3D map of Nigeria, from the east to the west. That was the direction he seemed to take as he held his sword before him. He ran his sword from the beginning of the river Benue in the east, past the confluence, and up to the beginning of the river Niger in the west. As he did this, the rivers became blood and created a sort of demarcation. Then, the blood began to drip down south. It seemed as if the blood was going to cover the entire southern region, plus Kwara, Kogi, Benue, and Taraba states. It seemed so from the demarcation. I understood this to imply that he was going to start the judgments beginning in this southern region. Not long after, I saw the marshal leading an army of men on white horses, towing the same path as with his sword, east to west. Finally, I saw a seat that was designed with green and white upholstery. It seemed like a place of authority that was newly prepared. I saw that pastor was called and asked to sit on it. I saw this new angel standing on the right side of this chair without any of his bloodiness. I heard that from that seat, pastor's voice concerning the nation was going to begin to be heard all over the land. It was more like people all over the land were going to be very interested in, look forward to, and listen to the things he says concerning our nation. October 1st, 2021. Brother S.E. Copyright Gam Watchman.